Hey folks, Quilly18 here, and welcome to another episode of Let's Play RimWorld. It is our Star Trekkers run here with the Odyssey expansion, and I decided to finally go ahead and break down and install the Allow Tools mod, which has been updated for 1.6. And the big reason is, as we start to design this grab ship, I'm doing this thing where I'm sort of laying things out, but then forbidding them so that we don't actually start building. And in standard RimWorld, it's actually really annoying to go and selectively unforbid some of these construction things, because you can't actually use the allow all to unforbid construction. You could double click and select a bunch, and then you can use F to toggle a bunch. But if you want to do it selectively, it's a little hard. So the allow tool replaces the allow all with kind of two sub buttons, the allow selection and the allow everything. And the allow selection does work on construction projects like this. So it just makes it a lot easier to do that. That's update number one. The other thing is, I started drawing this out. I'm just going to leave that dangling there for all you guys. But yeah, I want a reserve spot for a couple of hydroponic setups. So these are placeholders for the sun lamps and then the radius that the sun lamp can cover. So that'll be where the hydroponics go. And these rooms here might end up being being sort of, I don't know, tightly drawn. Like normally a lot of times I make my sunroom's just a box, but on the ship we might actually sort of trim down the corners to do things, or we could leave this really big open concept room. There's no reason that I necessarily have to have the hydroponics areas limited off. If anything, it might be very useful to have it very open, because this is going to be generating heat, because we're going to need heaters in here, and there'll need to be some room for that. And then I'll make sure that we get decent amount of heat coverage for whatever else there might be. I don't think that the hydroponics... Actually, that's a good question. I was going to say, I don't think the hydroponics contributes to a room type. But that's an interesting point. Now, over here, obviously, it doesn't say it's got a requirement for room. I don't know if it lends weight towards a room being one thing versus another. Like if you put beds in a room, it lends weights to it becoming a barracks. And then once you put production buildings in there, lends weight to it becoming a workshop, and then eventually flips the room from being barracks to workshop. And, that's just an example over there. I don't think these would contribute to anything. So theoretically, we could fit more things in that. I don't know what kind of makes sense thematically to group together over here. Although, if anything, we might want to have the refrigerator tied up fairly close to this. Again, I'm thinking of doing the 10 forward up here. That's not very big, but if we extend it, if we go and put the range extender, then we could 10 forward a little further away. Rather than get like a original series or next gen sort of round saucer section up in this area, we could go for a little bit more of a wedge shape. I'm trying to think, like, well, no, the Defiant's a bad example for like a bunch of different reasons, but there were some Star Trek ships that had a bit more of a wedge-shaped front, and that might be a good thing to put the 10 forward, because the 10 forward is going to be a temple. It needs a decent amount of space, not a tremendous amount. Well, usually we end up making a fairly large temple because it's the easiest way to increase the wealth, but we just pack it with a lot of valuable stuff. Anyway. So there's some plotting going on over there, and it's all leading towards, I really want to put down what is it actually called? The high-tech research bench. And I really want to figure out where that might be. I am wondering if maybe what we do is we build sort of a bridge area over here that I don't know if the piloting console was contributing to the lab thing. In our Space Pirates run, our bridge area is classified as a lab, but I think it's because I put down a gene pack thing over there. But it could be. Well, I'm actually almost wondering if what I might do is just sort of draw the shape for the initial ship. Use as many, because we can do up to 500 of our substructure here, right? Make it as big as I can with the 500 substructure, and then just try to cram in things as well as possible. Make it symmetrical. That's the one thing I want to do with this ship as opposed to the pirate one. The pirate one, I'm kind of okay with it looked like a bunch of bricks duct taped together, right? I think that's the right vibe for it. But here I want like a lot of symmetry and clean lines. Sorry, I'm keeping this on the screen so long. It just happens sometimes. It's like when we do things with rotational symmetry and we end up making some unfortunate symbols temporarily, which might happen when we start drawing the hydroponics as possible. So I think we might do something like that. So that's all the more reason to do the sort of selective construction thing. I might want to go and get this area established immediately, because I do want to get to our kind of infinite repeatable power right away. So that way as we travel, we can do that. Again, though, I can just do solar panels too, which would look good. I'm probably going to do a mix. I guess one of the things is conceptually, if I'm going to be doing this with chem fuel reactors, I might want to have the chem fuel reactors very close nearby. They don't have to be. What I want to do is wherever the rice gets stored, I probably want to have our biofuel refinery near that. And then wherever our biofuel refinery is, slash probably some chem fuel storage, we probably want to have that next to our chem fuel reactors. Although it would make a lot of sense to just have like 6 of them over here, right? If I go to power, chem fuel, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like we could do something like that, which means I could have the chem fuel reactor or refinery right over here. And then we could do an exact symmetry of the power combination here. Or if we are putting solar panels somewhere else, and again, we're going to want kind of symmetrical kind of vibe for it, then we can use the space for something else. So the reactor or the chem fuel things don't have to be symmetrical. On the other hand, what I could do is something like this. And then we could always grow the reactors out later on. That way, at least it's symmetrical for now. The chem fuel refinery itself won't be symmetrical because we're only going to have the one. And I mean, I'm not going to have the contents of each room being symmetrical. I just want the walls and sort of structures to be so. Maybe I'll commit to this. At some point, we've got to make a decision and just start building. And then there's something to be said about pre-planning everything, but there's also something to be said about sort of discovering what is going to happen with our layout as we build it. Again, I'm going to try to enforce symmetry in the actual substructure and walls. Beyond that, well, we're going to have to play it by ear to a certain extent. So I'm going to put a forbid on the chem fuel powered generators. Actually, I'm going to have to do that again in a second. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the allow selection. I'm going to allow that, and I will go and get these happening. And also this, which will include some of the substructure stuff. So boom, boom, boom. Ooh, missed this spot. And then, I mean, we're at least going to need this, plus some outer wall stuff. I don't know how much substructure this is right now. I'm going to let them start building this, and then we're going to see what our budget is for the 500. See, it's 445 place, but it's including, I think, all of these extra little bits here, which we're probably going to cancel. Though it does look like we're using up quite a lot here for now. So yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if this becomes, I mean, we might temporarily put a wall down the middle. Oh, I need to make sure, don't build the sun labs. I might end up just putting a wall down the middle and having a barracks and a little mini workshop here for now with, again, the intention of moving it all out. And again, there's nothing more permanent than a temporary solution, but we do have this area bookmarked, and then it'll be about when do we get room to build another barracks, and again, keeping with the symmetrical substructure. Anyway, we are 7.5 minutes into this video, and I haven't unpaused yet, but, I think this was a worthwhile conversation point. Plus, it lets me put a... it's a heart shape now. Oh, this is much better. Now we've got a heart. Aw, so sweet. It was only ever going to be a temporary little alludeness there, but... We got through it. At first, I gotta say, when I got these 2 circle areas with a little bit in the middle, it looked like something, like a pair of something else first until the rest of it came in. And I'm like, I don't know if this is better or have gotten significantly worse. I'm not sure, but it is what it is. Feels like the game volume's really low to me, but I think it's just a quiet song right now. Riveter's playing some horseshoes. Lovely. Oh, we definitely want to get the Mechanator stuff before we leave. I mean, we're not about to leave or anything. Actually, hold on. This whole thing was to prep to get the research labs in place. Hang on a second. I forgot about that. Let me go and re-forbid everything here. I want to get space for my advanced research labs. And yeah, even if we only leave with like half a ship or something, it's going to have to be okay. So let's assume, so over here, I can put the pilot console here, and I was thinking of leaving a little walk path on each side. So let's assume this and this kind of becomes walls. Let's build a research lab right off of here. So what we need is we need a 2x5 area for the lab itself. We'll need the multi-analyzer there, another 2x5 area, because I'm probably going to want 2 of those. We'll have the nice comfy chairs there. We can fit a big bookshelf in here. That's going to be fine. We'll extend that out. And then we could go... Like, I could go and wall this off like this. We could also consider leaving room for other things that want to be in the lab. For example, the drug production table. I don't know if anything else needs to be in the lab. And again, we can make a bio lab later. And maybe we'll just end up putting the drug production table in there, right, for medicine production. So let's assume we're going to have a wall here. And then we do need... Well, I was going to say we need a walking path here. Not necessarily. We only need a walking path here if the door wants to be on this edge. If we're going to come in there... Like from the bottom, I can just wall here and then put a door in here. maybe we'll do that, and then we'll assume there's going to be kind of a hallway over here. I'll leave a little something for walkability. Okay, and the important thing right now is just to get this room specifically, actually. Let me forbid everything else. And I mean, some of the things have already been delivered, but I think that should probably be okay. We can always cancel if need be. I'm going to forbid that. Yeah, just get this area going. That might need to be done for the back wall right there. We'll enclose this room, run some power to it, and we'll just have some research started. But it'll be in the right location. I don't think that needs to be forbidden. It'll be in the right location for our research lab. Hopefully, maybe. Oh yeah, some things got forbidden here because of my box select as well. Now, because I've got the allow stuff mod now, I can also use the allow everything button here, which is bound to home. It's one of the things I miss a lot when I'm not running allow stuff. I'm usually just tapping home all the time to unforbid. And what's nice about this unforbid is it's a smart unforbid because, and you can see here in the tooltip over on the left, unless you hold shift, skeletons and non-fresh corpses don't get unforbidden, which is so much more convenient because in vanilla, when you unforbid all, it includes like bunny skeletons on the far side of the map that got killed by some cougar or something. And so it constantly causes your people to drag these skeletons all over the place unless you are very restrictive about your stockpiles and things. So that makes life a little bit easier. A bunch of goats. You know, there are a lot of really good like goat curries and things I can think about. We do have a caravan hitching spot there, so the goats will be brought there. Roger's cooldowns are up, but everyone's converted, yeah? Yeah. Oh yeah, Hermine is a Starjack. That's true too. That is quite cool. You're bad at melee, but I mean, I don't know. The thing is, we're going to be protecting our people from like vacuum and stuff from suits anyway. I guess if we like had to do something in space and we were short one part of a suit, like we only had a helmet, I guess Hermine could go without, but the poor travelers. Now, last time we got a poor travelers quest, didn't they get insta-booped by the mechanoids? Oh, this is they want to stay here. But we can't say no. We're nice guys here. 6 is a lot. Luckily, we do have tons of food. What I'm going to do is I'm going to allow sowing on our rice place again to boost that a little bit more. I guess what I could do is I can stop this from being for prisoners, you know, our re-education thing, and we'll just go and slap down some extra beds in here. Now, we could have done this in a way that didn't require as many end tables. You know, I normally do those, right? My little spiral bed setups, but this is going to be okay. We could also unmark a couple of these beds for medical, but I think we should be fine, right? We needed 6. We had at least 1 unknown bed over here. We've got, and heck, we got 6 over here too, so that's going to be fine. Let's go and get everyone on our standard schedule and set up a few of these basics anyway. Like, I don't know if I'll worry about everything, but I guess it's fine. Maybe we'll turn that off. Oh, right. I get Hall Plus again now because we've got the Allow Stuff mod. Hall Plus just shows up as an extra labor. And when we mark something, we could set it to... Oh, that's alive. We can set it to Hall Urgently, which is just this Hall job instead of this Hall job. That doesn't do anything you can't do through vanilla because you can always right-click on something and force people to haul it. Well, I mean, in this case, we'd have to have it flagged as hauled, but then prioritize hauling this, right? It just avoids you having to do right clicks, instead gives you another button on the thing, which is really handy. So let's see here. Childcare, sure, we'll turn on a few of those. We're not going to be converting these guys. Basic for flipping switches, we do that. None of these have to do wardening, and we want to train Roger if we did. I don't think the animal handling is going to come up, but again, we'll set a few things. Cook, sure. That's butchering, really, because we're doing nutrient-based stuff. You guys don't even have ranged weapons, so I'll turn off the hunting completely. And I don't know, I guess you can help out with maybe the mining. We'll do that. I'll turn off the crafting because we really want super high, or turn off the smithing and tailoring because we want super high armor and weapons and stuff. We'll give you the craft. Let me set the regular haul down to a 4. Maybe I'll leave the cleaning to a 3. And then you guys have some passion for research, so at least that'll help. I guess there's no reason not to set these to a 4 in case it came up, but hopefully it wouldn't. So Rhea's really not going to do much unless we want to get them to start doing art stuff. But again, if they can help out with the haul and cleaning, that'd be great. In fact, I could lower our own people's stuff. You know what? For the people who are strong at researching, on like the people that are permanent people in my base. So it looks like Roger, Hermine, Riveter, and Wolf. Let me do this here. We're going to give you the priority to go and do this rather than research. We got an eclipse, which is fine. We're not using any solar power. And some of them are going to complain about their tattered clothes, that some of the people are here, but that's fine. Let's go and do a slaughter on the goats. We don't need to keep them around, and we'll need the extra food short term. Okay, so that's in place. So I guess we should decide what we want our internal walls for our ship to be. Because, I mean, we can use the grab ship hull, right? Strong airtight wall, prevent oxygen leaks in the vacuum of space. Now, our internal walls. Yeah, airtight, no. So they would go and leak. What about the others? Steel is. So wooden walls aren't vacuum or aren't airtight, but steel walls are. Now, our internal walls don't actually have to be airtight, although we might want it for protection. Now, I'm not going to build the interior of my ship with wood. It's just not Star Trek-y enough. But we can use steel walls, which will be a little cheaper, right? A sandstone block. There we go. 5 steel versus the grav ship steel ones is 7. 7's not much more. It's got considerably more hit points. And we can make these grab ship hulls out of other materials, it turns out, which adds a ton more hit points to them, which is ridiculous. I'm not really worried about that right now. I guess the question is, how much steel do I want to save by sticking to just plain steel walls for inside? I don't know. Maybe we'll do all of it out of grav steel. Sure. Let's just do it all out of this. So we're going to go and enclose this room completely. And we're going to use a steel door. You want to do it for your doors. You want to use steel or wood, or I suppose plasteel. Those are all the fastest. Everything else is considerably slower. And in particular with auto doors, you want to stick with the wood, steel, or plasteel because those doors will open instantly. Whereas an auto door that's made out of stone will still be slow enough to not open instantaneously. Part of me is tempted to double door this just to, add some symmetry here, which is certainly tempting. We could also put an ornate door, but I don't think that's the right vibe for the ship. I mean, this does take more steel to double up. It looks nice, though. But then if we auto door this later, I don't think I'm going to do all auto doors. Or, you know what? We could just vac seal this. Which we're going to want to make... Oh, do we not have that? Is that a later tech? Is that under standard? No. Is it advanced? Is it under structure? Why can't I see it? Vac. Is it not called a vac sealed door? Ah, what is it called? And why can't I find it? Well, that's very frustrating. Well, I guess we don't have it now anyway. I think it's under this category. So I'm just assuming we don't have it yet. Is it under like a weird secondary character? I can't remember what it's called. I thought it was a vac door, but it's like a force field, shield. I don't know. All right, whatever. Let's just go and put a steel door in there for now. Regular steel door. Blam. So there's already power that happened. Oh, it's actually would just slightly miss it. Let's just make sure here. We'll run a hidden conduit this way, which will be good when we get this extra power down later. We're going to get you a light in place. And once it's sealed in, we'll go and get the high-tech research bench. What I'll do is I'll reveal this. Now, of course, if we mine the steel, that'll be a gap. Although what I guess I can do in preparation for that is I can just go and build a little wooden wall here with a wooden door. There. Okay, it's technically home zoned. Okay. Need some more steel, please. We've got plenty of gravlite panels, so that I don't think will be the limiter on our ship design. I just really want to avoid building any part of the ship that's going to have to be completely deconstructed later. Moving some furniture around is fine. I'm hoping to avoid any full deconstructions, but I will be a little bit more ruthless, I think, in those decisions. I guess just at the very least, we know for a fact, like, this is going to have to be linked to things, and we're going to need, like, at least the spot for the pilot and the cockpit. And that'll include this part here for an outer wall. And our starter, like, literally our first ship could just be just be this little thing with some engines to move over. But we're going to want to carry some things with us. So we're certainly going to build more than that. But let's get this started. Oh, yes, we can name our ship now. I mean, I think we should name our ship. Hold on, I had a good name for this. Like Avis or Hertz or other car rental companies that aren't Enterprise. The other thing I thought was puns on like Enterprise. So like the Entrepreneur ship. And then it even has ship in the name, right? Entrepreneurship. Is that how it's spelled? I don't know. I'm going to go with this. We could rename it later. But those are my two ideas for puns. A play on the fact that there is at least in North America, a big car rental brand called Enterprise. But also that, you can think of it in terms of, who's the guy? Joseph Smith, Wealth of Nations? Oh, that got unforbidden as well. Which, you know what, might be okay. Yeah, we'll have to make sure. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to select... so now I can also select similar, which is great from the Allow Tool mod. Oh, it didn't select any others, really? Didn't count these? Oh, there you go. Oh, because there was partial amounts of material dropped off. I'm going to get rid of them for now, just so that I don't accidentally unforbid their construction going forward. We can leave the one in here. We don't have any chem fuel yet, but it's built. I'm not going to tear it down, which wastes material. And I think I do want it here, although... Is there a wall there? Or maybe... These can't be moved. Am I going to enclose this? Because this doesn't form a wall. Because the natural thing is to extend it this way. Have a little walk around here. Or this is just open concept all the way back to here. Which maybe. Actually, I might not hate that. We can try it. Although I'll have to decide before I build any more of these, because I want to deconstruct a ton. Solar flare is annoying. So we went Eclipse into solar flare. So all of our power is off. They don't last too long, so it's okay. All right, we got our mortars tech. We're going to want sterile materials at some point. Yeah, we'll want a few more of these. We'll try to take advantage, even if it's not something we need now. We'll try to take advantage of the fact that we can do mass simple research bench research right now. Until we're really forced to move to the other one. Oh, Trekkie Shrine is desired. Yeah, we have enough wealth now. Okay. Well, maybe we prioritize getting 10 forward up. Right? So, what we'll do is we'll build in a bunch over here. Maybe up to this. And we're going to allow this stuff so we can build the outer wall and then down like here. So it's... Huh? What? Did I have the wrong tool, or is it because I was starting on the bush? Maybe it was confusing. Anyway, we'll do this so this will all be connected. Yeah, we'll probably have a very skeletal ship for this first jump. I guess I could temporarily go and build. Turn a small altar. Ideology tab. We could just put this wherever for now. Okay, what if this is an issue? What if it's using too many bits and bobs? All right, I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to forbid this again after all. And let's just make a small shrine. So in the same shape as these fancier bedrooms, we'll build a small shrine over here. Rather than do something that might cause us some issues. Do that. We'll do this. We'll put in some nice limestone tiles inside the room. We will get you a wall lamp. And under ideology, we're going to build a small altar. I'm just going to build it out of wood. There you go. Technically, get it done. Quest expired, stash of treasures. That's fine. All right, traps are up. We had... Ooh, I didn't go on a go. I always go world instead of over here. We're probably due for the next wave from Cassandra Classic, but I'm not unhappy with our situation. Yeah, we got tons of steel now. How are we on components? Okay, we got tons too. That's good. And medicine-wise, okay, we got lots too. I don't have to worry about picking the heal route. Sterile materials is done. We're gonna want, I think, these two. Well, maybe we're doing the TV as well. The gun turrets, which again isn't going to be for now, but we might mount some guns on our ship later because it does look super cool. Although, you know, we're kind of a peaceful ship of exploration, so we'll have to see exactly how much pew-pew we want. But we also have to defend ourselves. I mean, come on, all the enterprises were armed. Yeah, Barnett just doesn't sleep enough. And therefore always gets a little bit of unhappy night owl stuff, but so be it. You gotta eat it. All right, the wood's still coming in. Yeah, lots of steel. We're chopping down the trees that are in the way over here, which is a-okay. Oh, this area isn't home zoned, so it is getting some dirt. Do I start building? No, again, we can do a few more of those. Although I guess I can get this set up and we can still help with the research, right? If I go and slap down the high-tech research bench ×2. Did I leave the extra walkway? That was a mistake. I think I was talking about doing it tight here rather than the opening on the side. Well, we'll see. Waste pack infestation. All right, so we got some bugs coming up down here. So what we need to do is we need to get this work area defined again, which first of all, we can reincorporate this top area. Secondly, we're going to remove a lot down here. In fact, I'll remove the entire bottom part of the map. Really reduce the chance that someone walks through that area, and then we're going to go and assign everyone to the work area. All right. Dealing with the bugs won't be too bad. Now, we do have mortar tech. Do I just want to mortarize them? We'd have to start... I don't have chem fuel yet. Although, presumably I have to research that. Yeah, biofuel refinery. I don't think the biofuel refinery can be moved. I still don't know where the fridge will go. I mean, it could be centered up over here. It could be on the edge because then we can vent outwards. Although we have to remember... Oh, we also have to remember these things are super hot. That's right. And they could overheat the ship. Now, if we had really smart temperature control things with like auto opening vents and things, which are possible with mods, then what we could do is set up a system where the heat from the chem fuel generators heats the ship, but if it gets too high, we start venting it out to space. But I think I have to move my plan here for these guys and plan on putting them sort of on the outer bits. And we still don't want it exposed. Right, this whole thing is... We don't want our freezer to be on the outside. So let's assume this becomes a good, strong wall. We can have a little gap here that is open to space. And then we can have this be the fridge where the coolers from the fridge vent to space. So... what if the plan looks something more like this? Right? Forbid these so they don't actually get built. And then this is going to be enclosed, like from the outside, and this is going to be unroofed. And then right over here becomes a fridge. Now this wouldn't be a very big fridge. Well, I mean, we can hang it out a little further because we also need the nutrient-based dispenser for part of it. Okay, I think that's going to be the long-term plan. I'll probably have to redraw this on another map because the sketch here isn't going to come with us. That'll probably be the long-term plan. But we don't need any of the chem fuel stuff for our first go. In fact, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to cancel these to get the material back. I'm going to redraw this. Yeah, I need camera plus so I can zoom in more. Oh, wait, hold on. They're, oh, but then it'll forbid the ground stuff. Okay, Okay, well, I suppose that might be fine. Let me do this to make sure all that stuff is forbidden, not being built. And then what I'll do is I'll unforbid that. And select similar invisible area. Allow the steel. Okay. Hopefully I've done that. We'll find out. Sorry, I know it's being a little fiddly here. I'm really want to do the pre-planning okay. Definitely this thing is going to get moved. I guess I could trash it now so we don't have to maintain it. All right, deconstruct that. And yeah, I don't think that was the plan here. Now, I don't know if I have a book yet, but I'm just going to get ready. I'm going to get a steel bookcase because I think it's the right vibe. We'll get it in there. And I think we did grow cloth, so let's see about getting a couple of really comfy cloth armchairs in this room for people. And again, that'll be the microanalyzer over here. And yeah, I think maybe this wall gets pulled back. People are dragging dirt in and out as they travel, but oh well. All right. Spork's level 13 in plants. That's nice, right? We're planting the extra corn. But yeah, now we have 6 research tables. They can all be used right now because we're researching the base stuff here. As soon as I start researching past here, 4 of our stations will be no good. On the plus side, these should work a lot faster, right? 102 here. We have the little roiding bonus as well for that extra 2%. But mostly it's 100% research speed instead of 70%, which I think is the base for the simple research lab. So that'll go a lot faster, and we can just do more of it at once. And yeah, there's a lot of idleness, which is currently totally okay. Xenogenetics is done. So, I mean, let's get the tube television. Preparation for some things. That's going to be okay. Do we do the security doors? I don't know. We will do the turrets. And yes, we need to get the mech tech before we go. And maybe we should do that while we've got all these extra people. So, we have to smash this first, right? So let's send Wolf out here to go and smash this thing. Because that'll give us a thing that we can then call down a mech raid. Yeah. Bonk, 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 bonk. Intact transponder. Oh, it'll likely explode. Maybe we should shoot it with a gun instead. Roger, why are you suddenly so hurt? Oh, you must have gotten a social fight there and I missed it. Huge structure. Oh, I love these structure quests. An arcade capsule. Ooh. A cooking skill book with plasteel. My trainer, learning assistant. Ah. And then we have to protect, but if we just presumably leave? I don't know. Oh, until we defeat the site. That is a long commitment to be here. And I'm not sure. This might not be something we can just escape because it'll stay on the map and might continue to cause problems. So it's not the construction that's the issue. It's the fact that we are going to have to stay here for an extra 34 days. Which might be the case, but I can't guarantee it. I'm just going to say no. Okay, let's grab... Do we not have another... Oh, we do. Hermine. Grab the heavy SMG, please, and then come over here. And we could probably get closer. Still missing, but that's okay. I don't think this trains our shooting skills. No. Which is always one of the annoying things with just generally tearing stuff down. Okay. Let's just make sure we're okay here. We're going to home zone this. I'll reset everyone. Oh. Oh, it's not in our allowed area. These things, oh, okay. They're all dormant, which is interesting. Let me add this to the work area and reset everyone again. Go and put out the fires, mostly to stop it from spreading. I don't think we can lose our little Mechanator bit. And then, yeah, I think... Oh, yeah, it's not the part yet, so anyone can use this. A pod sprout, I think we'll harvest it, but probably just sell it. I don't tend to like to bother with this. Spork. Yeah, I'll get you to decrypt this transponder. Okay, and let's remove this home zone and clear the work area just to keep us away from the bugs. We might literally not have to deal with the bugs at all unless the caravan shows up in the south here. All right, Mechanator wreckage. We're going to accept a quest. So some hostile things. The Scorcher will be the scariest part of that. Did you... Oh, you're here. Okay. All right, that's not too bad. These guys might do a bit of frontline YOLOing. Let me move Jack out of the way. Let's assemble everyone in here. Like, make sure you go inside here, then there. But yeah, they're going to help us take care of this. I mean, obviously, we're not sacrificing them. We're not monsters. That's not what's happening. But we do have to go as a big group. We don't have a combat command. We do have a turret we can deploy, so we'll probably do that. But what we're going to do is we'll get our gunners out over here. We'll get our meleers to all run forward and try to engage the Scorcher specifically. Well, actually, White, go and tank this. You guys tank this Militor before it causes us issues. Good. Close in on that Scorcher. Excellent. Let's move up here. We're not going to deploy the turret at all, actually. It's going to go fine. Want to get closer to minimize the chance of friendly fire. Okay. Clean that. So mech link available, which I think is going to go to Spork. The ship, which we'll deconstruct. I don't know if we get a shuttle part out of that in here. But yeah, Spork is a crafter. It's the primary thing. Let's extract this mech link. You got to be careful because if you cremate this corpse, you will lose the mech link. So you got to make sure to take it out first. It is forbidden by default, which is very helpful. But I have once lost the mech link because of that. I mean, we could go and remove the clothes too, although I don't think you're going to wear anything that's... I mean, the Hyperweave Duster might have some value. You can't be psychically deaf for the Mechanator stuff. Oh, that changes things remarkably. So now all of a sudden Yuko is the best candidate for this probably. Because you do have some crafting, which means you can do smithing. We may have to do some training on it. Okay. Huh. I guess I do have your smithing and tailoring turned on. Yeah, all right. This will have to do. Okay, Yuko the Mechanator. Done. Installed. And don't we get like a free robot or two? There it is. We got a lifter, which is fine. Wouldn't have mind a cleaner either. That's going to be okay. Let's keep you limited to the work area. We'll do the thing I like to do, which is with the power. I like to make them recharge a little sooner, which helps when you got a lot of mechs and you're worried about overlap. I'm going to hit the home button on my keyboard to do a smart unforbid. Okay, now the Mechanators like recharge stuff and everything like that can be moved as far as I know. So, oh, that's the other thing. Now we can research the basic mech tech, which I'm going to do immediately for the mech recharger. We're probably going to build more mechs, at the very least cleaning and hauling mechs for sure. We might not do the higher order ones. I'm not certain. I'm just worried that Riveter and who's the other one? Barnett might get a little just jealous, you know, of more robots being around. But that's going to be handy there. Okay, go back to tube television again for the generic stuff. And now if I go and put down under biotech, yeah, the mech recharger, just want to make sure we've got one. You don't need to be in our production centers. In fact, why don't I just put you right there? And that'll be okay. All right, research is a go. Schedule and happiness is just Barnett, which is always going to be there. Do we have the tear apart mechanoids thing? We do. Okay, so someone should get around to that, hopefully. And Yuko, what are you up to right now? You're hauling gravlight panels to a stockpile. Okay, so we're not actually doing any crafting jobs this time. People are just filling up on some haul work. Which we do want a lot of idleness. Maybe this is too much, I'm not sure. All right, what's the minimum we want for this functional ship? Maybe I can build the wall here and have the doors. We need this for this wall. Oh, I think they canceled the, yeah. Very easy to accidentally do that. And very bad. Because all of a sudden you take off and it turns out part of your ship isn't coming with you. I'm going to get a pair of steel doors here and here. And some of this might end up changing, right? Inevitably, especially if we're just like, okay, we need to take off. There you go. And I'm not sure about the size of this room. Again, it's just got to be enclosed for now. And it just needs one light. There we go. I can put it back there. Nice and symmetrical. No symmetry in this room, unfortunately. And yeah, this might get trimmed back. These might get trimmed back too. What we can do in this first room, we can put the piloting center there and like one chem fuel storage thing for so that our engines can go. And I guess the engines also have to be on a substructure, so we may just need to slap down a little area over here. Like one can imagine something like, let's unforbid that and that, and just go here and here, and we can put 4 small thrusters. We can move the thrusters later, which is nice. Crypto drone hack of the Type 3 phaser. Okay. Okay, it'll force to land. Okay, so it's one of those where we have to do the hack while it stands around. We'll get attacked. It's very scary, and we have 30 days to deal with it. We're going to want to do that for sure. Okay. Yeah, pilot's console there. So let's say a couple of tanks. We can't do the grav fuel extender. Because, oh, there it is. So we don't have the grav cores, I think they're called. Oh, can't do that. Oh, you need fire foam, which actually seems like a good idea for us to research right now. Marriage is on. Jack and Roger are getting married. They're already sharing the bed, which is nice. I don't know what the bedrooms on the ship will look like. I mean, obviously next gen, everyone had these really swanky individual bedrooms. I don't know if that's going to be practical. We might have a few like conjugal bedrooms, right? For the people who are paired off. If we want them to have privacy, because we want to have babies, maybe. I don't know. I mean, we could put double beds in a barracks too, but it feels weird for this particular setting. All right, so we'll do that and that, and then we're going to need chem fuel production happening. And let's say I build it in the base, then we'll have to deconstruct it because we can't move it. So if we're already saying, well, we're probably going to have to deconstruct the chem fuel generator, I may as well do something like, let's do this. We'll put it on the ship so it can come with us. Even if this doesn't end up where we want it to be and we have to deconstruct it, well, we're going to have to do that anyway. Right? I think that makes some amount of sense. Anything down here we might want? A tree sawing? I don't know if we will. We might want to do the corset making or training tailors / making some money. That's a possibility. I guess this will count as being outside and we'll get a speed penalty. Maybe I'll go and do the absolute minimum here to get it walled up, which actually means not even those two. Right, let's wait until this gets established. Although I can go and set down the chem fuel refinery here. I'll still build the steel door, just as sort of a policy on our ships. We'll do this, and then we'll throw a light in there. And yeah, I was going to say we might... Here, I'll just go straight through with the hidden conduit. Nice thing about hidden conduits is we're not too worried about where they get built, because we're not going to see them. Normally, I'd be like threading things through walls. Maybe some of this. Yeah, I think it's going to be quite good for us to go and fill in a few of these things. Now, it's possible we're out of power. We are getting some negativity over here, so we don't have quite enough with the geothermal generator. A couple of solar panels and a battery. Maybe not on the ship, because I think ultimately we'll probably want that. Gosh, we might want it for the first jump. Okay. So I think it's 3x3 for the solar panel. So we'll give it an extra space here. And you know what? I can put batteries in there. It's not pretty, but it'll work. I still think a wall might end up there. Oh, the batteries inside the lab might make some sense, but nah, just because of the beauty issue, we probably won't. I'm going to go ahead and mark this all as home zone. I could turn on the auto home zoning, but I like to avoid it. So yeah, just one solar panel. Oh, it's bigger than I thought. 4x4. Okay. Just make sure it's got substructure underneath it all, so we can bring it with us on our first jump. And yeah, the thrusters, chukka, 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 like that. I don't think the trees block the thrusters or anything. Okay, oh, you have to actually be touching the power grid. There really needs to be a visual indicator when you've got a power thing like this that's not actually touching the grid, because it is very easy to miss. Here, I'm just gonna, this is overkill, but I'm gonna go and get some extra cables wrapped around the cockpit room, which again, structurally might change later. A mad bluebird. Ah, run, Spork. Let's get all the meleeers to come here. Spork. I mean, Spork might just be able to turn around and shoot it, but yeah, ideally it's like, hold on. Go and build some distance. We don't want one of your eyes pecked out or anything. Okay, the bluebirds, turns out birds don't walk very quickly. They fly just fine, but they don't walk too quick. Okay, Spork's fine. Roger's still got a bunch of bruises from some social fight. Or something. Little heavy bridges. Oh, if you click this, it goes to the log. Yeah, so it is this person who's also injured. Okay, well, that's really interesting. Sure, we'll get some instruments. Just enjoying. Do I want to click every single thing that's like pre-advanced tech? I don't know if that's the case. Oh, you guys also have to be directly connected. Okay, one is, but the other isn't. There we go. Let's do this. And heck, again, I might just do this for some amount of redundancy. I don't know. That kind of is a waste. It uses, you know, some steel, but it also generates like some wealth that isn't strictly needed. We might go and remove some of these conduits later. There you go. Okay, both these batteries are connected and plugged. We're generating extra power during the day. And even at night, actually, we're going to have a slight positive number, but there's bound to be some fluctuations. Okay, Sardine is offering to join us. Let's take a look at you. That's okay for us to say no to these people. Although, you have no health issues. You're not about to get like old and problematic. You're nimble and a hard worker. You have no specific combat skills, but you're not against it. And you got double passion construction. Even the social can be good. Cooking. Yeah, okay. Sardine. I mean, you're in you're gonna be very comfortable in a tin can, right? So I don't think we're doing the rituals to pull more people in, but when we're being offered someone who is clearly okay, because if we're not going to turn down someone that comes and shows up from a ritual, that would feel wrong. But we might get someone bad. So let's start some convert actions there. We could do the capture and force recruitment too. How hard are you to convert there? Yeah, you're actually very hard to convert. Huh. You know, Worf, you're going to have to give up your room for a tiny bit. And then, Roger, you're going to rest Sardine. There we go. And then we have a little re-education room. So this is going to be convert and then release afterwards. Okay. So as soon as you follow our ideology, then you will be released back. And because you're part of our colony, you'll be back here. You'll get the, hey, I was arrested penalty, but you'll be fine. So we're ignoring those insects, which I still think is fine. I guess I should put a cut in here. It's a double-length episode, but I did spend a lot of time talking about the ships. I was like, I better make sure there's a little bit more actual content going on here. We'll mine through the steel, and then we'll pick up the components from the other side. I'll probably tag a little bit more mining. Well, not in the south, that's for sure. Any components up here? There's some there. Good. Because we're using some of those up. Plenty of steel still left on the map. Oh, a bunch of components. Vein mine. And that. Okay. Yeah, we're good on steel. And there might be something hiding in here too. And yeah, we'll get those components as soon as we got a little tunnel dug out here. But I don't want to start now because they'll go to the other side, which would be no good. Right now, anyone with a mining priority should go here because it's going to be closer to anything. All right, folks, thanks a lot for watching another episode. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.